Greetings, love. It's Intuitive Jacob, and we're back to do a leap into love reading. Feel free to check your sun, your moon, and your rising. We're going to be pulling 7 cards from this John Holland Psychic Tarot Oracle deck to have a look at what you are both thinking on the first line, how you're feeling, and then how people are acting. And then the center card is going to be basically your disposition. Let's have a look on the inside. Greetings, Libra. It is so good to have you here. Thank you for being here. How are you doing? Welcome to Pisces on this 2020. Helping us see all the way around and that new why we're hearing it clearly this way. Let's see what's going on with this relationship. We've got you, them. The stories could flip-flop. Please know your own designations, okay? These are thoughts, feelings, how people might be acting, what you got in common. Let's start here. Well, I'm hearing for some of you, it's like watching yourself go through it. It's like you got a view of it so good where it's like, it's this here is that Indiana Jones moment where Indy has to take that step off the wall. Yeah, in faith. And it's like, kind of like the never-ending story here where the other person, I'm just going to say she here, is like looking in the book and it's like, I already did that. And it's like a surreal thing where you're seeing, it's like the Mobius strip where somebody went in and you're like, wow, that's me, but in your face. And I almost fell off here. Watch your feet. Watch your steps. Whoever this person is needs to be careful what they're stepping into. Slippery slopes. I'm hearing watch anything dealing with body and health with this person. I'm hearing for some of you all, it's like you might be a doctor of some kind or a caregiver or a practitioner and you're concerned about this person and what they're going through. I'm hearing for some of you all, this is you needing more sleep. You need more than 5 hours of sleep. You need more like 9 hours of sleep. You might actually need like a hermit weekend where you just spend a whole time not being weak. I have to call it the strong end. Give yourselves time to sleep. This is where you need to integrate. This is major arcana energy. This is actually the hermit energy. And maybe what hermit actually looks like. She's so red. What a dude. Yeah. So, what is this? This is someone who has taken the time, in some cases invested this time. You're some kind of doctor in something, whether or not you've got this certificate, my darling, because of what you know and what you've invested into this. And so, let me just be the honorary thank you guy right now, just saying for holding your energy and whatever you've been fastidious about over here, because it's looking you in the face over here and there's something that you know how to diagnose that's going on here. And I'm hearing it might be like the reason why somebody's falling, tripping, how somebody got thrown, what it is to be off of your equilibrium and balance, and like things that can happen on a metamorphic level when people are seriously paying attention to details. This is a very fire-driven energy here. And this is sort of a little more earthbound. So it's like the things that you are still about now that require movement. And so there's It's something that I'm hearing you had to get patient with yourself about. For some of you all, it's like you're recovering from a similar something. It's like maybe that's why you went into that line of work. Let's put it that way. Whatever is going on here, this person's being guided, and I'm hearing it's like, for them, it's a matter of discernment, because there is something at the pit here. Let me look at that. It's kind of smoky to me. And I'm counting like 7 things around them. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe one big 8th thing holding it all together. But they're telling me it's like, I don't know, maybe they were dealing with what some people are calling dissociative identity disorder. I'm hearing it might be like just their ability to synthesize data at such an alarming rate that they're just highly cognitive and hearing where sound packages land in a plasma resonance wheel, or sound latency and decay actually manifest things that some of us can sense at a higher rate of return than others, and where they might be like overstimulated. And so I'm hearing for some people here, this is like you knowing what to do with this, and for some of y'all it's like you might share a child together with this person, and I'm hearing if you haven't been with them in like 5 years or something, it's like they're there again for a reason. They might have been away. I'm hearing they might have been put away or something for some reason, and it's like you know what to do to help them, and there's also some help around you to make sure that Okay, let's see what the feels like looks like here, because we've got wonderful. Okay, so whatever steps they're taking, I'll just say first, are being done in faith. I'm hearing it's like some of them might have been able to kind of like see ahead and like shrink it back down. I'm hearing if they're taking difficult steps, it's like they really went within before they just started going there. And for some of y'all, that's good for you to know, because I'm hearing you might have been wondering if they were projecting for some reason or another, because some people are projecting. And for some of you all, the answer is yes. People who were astral projecting were affecting this person directly. They were reaching for this. Whatever they saw this little light was, it was like they thought they could put their hands on it. And this is what we've been discovering about the 9th gate. What doesn't get massaged into people's hair. What you can't reach into anymore on a physical, material, endocrinology proven level, even around as much hyperdense plasma nutrient data rich environment as we all have, with plasma screens everywhere being filled with blood and like everything that woke up at the same time, that one eye when we're closed and open at the same time. So certain protection has been put over this because somebody was being launched at, and I'm seriously, I'm counting like all these little bits of data. It's like packets of data going missing because when people are asleep, people are trying to, steal the dream. I'm hearing for some of you, it's like you got a magic fly swatter. It's like, you know how to close the book on that thing. What I love here is that you have this major arcana. It's like how well you know what you can be as that so lit with the right kind of dude hermit person, especially if you see that person like this here too, because for some of you it's like knowing you were there before and kind of what to do. And it's great because they've got a very strong energy of hope and faith. So it's like steps being taken, knowing that it's trepidatious here, but with good intentions and energy to be integrated here. And so this person here, I'm hearing you might be the reason why they can do that. It's like they're really looking up to you. This is like the star energy. They might be really strong in characteristics of an Aquarius. They might have like a sun, moon, or rising in Aquarius. Or maybe you do. Maybe that's how they're seeing you. But what I like is that this is major arcana energy. This is somebody who's going to be able to act out in that way, and where it's a special guidance and protection, like all this light going around here holding these shaky things together. And where 7 plus 1, the 17, becomes an 8, just like here. It's like a magic getaway that can happen, and what you can call in with your own magnetic abilities, where the sleep cure for the wise that lands in the halo of friends where two bees knew. Might be of this book as the living, breathing you, and what this positive movement forward looks like and why it can land on like a tokeny card. Bitcoin to you there. Positive movement forward. This is kind of like between the 8 and the 9 of what you would maybe see in like a more traditional style deck where somebody's going for the artistic venture so much that they kind of lose track of everything else because they're so involved in those details. It's like a pursuit that's passionately taking them in a direction where they groom wealth around them that's very protective. And this is like even taking it out onto the water where it's like really facing the emotional stuff and being willing to take maybe just a little bit of light because that light is about to go and this person is, you know, on this boat just going with the faith. And so it's a mirror image of how the strengths are being balanced here. So it's kind of like bridging this in a way that maybe you didn't know you could. And I'm hearing for some of you all, it's like knowing when to go for help. Because for some of you all, you've been doing some kind of counseling. And I'm hearing that's what this is here. It's just like how well that's been working just by being willing to kind of speak up about those things. Because for some of you all, I'm hearing it's like it's been a communication thing. And part of this is just learning that some of you all didn't have language for stuff. And so it's like being held accountable for like, well, you never talked to me. La, 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 la. It's like, it's so unfair if somebody does not have a language for this and they have not been given that tool to even know how to like stop and feel something, let alone know how to then articulate that back. It takes a lot of work to do that with somebody. And so I'm hearing all of that. It's been a foundational thing. It's been a labor of love. This has been a laborious process of faith on a demonstration. So I'm feeling good about this here. Let's see how you are actually going to play this out, though, because this is what I'm seeing that you're aware of and where you're feeling it and feeling it moving you. Just keep in mind that sometimes, even though you have all of that, people are sometimes willing to defect. And so for some of you all, that is what this is here. It's things that are trying to pull those energies out. So I'm hearing for some of you all, this is hard because it's like watching yourself crash and burn on a certain level with some people, because it's like, just depending on who this relationship is, it's like how you might have held yourself accountable for a crazy thing that you did, maybe when you set off and just took off and were willing to do it, and it kind of paid off, but it didn't, you know? It's like, it was a difficult lesson, and now it's like you have the benefit of that knowledge, and sometimes you can't support somebody anymore, even with that there. So it's knowing where the release is. So let's see how we're acting, because that's what's happening here. Okay, so we've got an 8 and a 16. This is where energy overlaps and doubles itself. This is where power struggles can happen, where somebody might be fighting urges or learning how to balance what that is, because that is an energy that could shred itself right there. This is a very leonine energy. Again, another major arcana. You're balancing polarities here. And then here's the 16. It's like, these are steps that you're aware of. I feel like with these two 8s here too, this is kind of like, it's a very protected, guided energy. An 8 might have a significance for you, especially with, it could have something to do with your life path, but you've got an 8 here too, if you add this together with their star energy or this hope energy. I'm hearing that it's like, if you're having a lot of urges to do something, it's like you're knowing how to just like keep both sides available to you so that you're moving in the right direction, because if you're kind of lopsided like this and too powerful either one of these ways, this thing just, that's karmic, it just goes away. It's where illusions are shred. And here, look what kind of outburst is happening. This is somebody experiencing what normally people call a tower. That's a tower falling down. That's disruption. See that right there for what it is? That says 16 there, which is sort of a 7 there, right? When you add that. I'm hearing somebody might be having a chemical imbalance, and it's like whatever the fixation is with what they were putting in their mouth, it's created a shake-up situation here. And so this might be like stabilizing chemistry here that's going on, especially if they were like misdiagnosed for something. This is a very strong scorpionic vibe too, and I'm hearing for somebody it's like what it looks like being taken away in a straitjacket. Because for some of y'all, you have somebody that's being offered up for that. That's not everybody. Alright, let's see what's going on here, what's in common. So we have moving on. This is a breakaway point. I'm hearing just very clear, it's a breakaway point. It's knowing where to depart from where something closed off, because it's like, if you look, there's a pretty distinct line, that diagonal line showing where it's like the, this way, right here, and then it goes all the way across. Oh, here. Goes all the way across, where all the light is here, and then here it just completely drops off. So it's like, I'm hearing, this might look like light just shining over somebody, but imagine if that was like, if there was like a boundary here, right here, where somebody was just kind of wrapped up in a round container and they were with their back towards where the light was. Because I'm hearing that might be what it's like now for some of you. And for those of you that make it into the nuclear container, that's exactly what that looks like. It's just like being carried in the direction where the light energy is coming, and what it is to actually be called into a better form. Because I'm hearing for some people this is like the right kind of shakeup. You might want to check the moon and rising if this is your sun or whatever your other signs are, because I want to say that this same card showed up for 2 other tribes. I'm not recalling right now off the top of my head. I've done a lot of these right now. But this might be somebody that instigated for some of you in a small amount of these readings. This is like just showing you why somebody is operating in faith, because it's like they're holding it together while things are collapsing around them, is what it looks like. It's like everything's just going crazy around them and they're taking gentle steps. And for some of you all, it's like the reason why this card is showing up is because it's like they might have like a wrecking ball kind of person that's been going around like just starting some shit, and that person might have been showing up in a couple of these other readings. So just check it if it's yours, because that might make sense. Because for some of you all, it's important for you to know that this is actually them not acting. It's like a lot of times this disruption is like somebody just like blasting out and like being crazy and argumentative, especially when their mind is like on like these 5 obstacles and challenges. It can be like very like argumentative, feisty energy, you know, sometimes real petty. So this could be like what it looks like to all out pop off on somebody. And I'm hearing, though, for some of you all, that's just what this is that's going around them. It's like seeing the pop-off and this person just being like, nope, and taking very, very careful steps around it. So you're just going to have to know what kind of people you're around, because for some of you all, that situation's going to play out differently. There could be different factors that are interfering with this, is what it feels like. It just feels like it's busy. There's like other things around. It's like they're trying to get in there. So for some of you all, you know exactly what that means, because you've had somebody grabbing at your friend or your partner, because for some of you all, this is actually your partner. For some of you all, this is like a friend that you haven't really spoken up about. And you've been keeping it to yourself. You've been like, just just on a different path. I'm hearing for some of you all, it's like you're too busy. It's like you need an 18-hour day just to get done, you know, what might only look like took you 9 hours, and you just need more time is what it seems like. And it's like, it's a little frustrating, because if this is somebody that you have a very strong interest in, it's like you just kind of know them really well. You know what they're going through. It's like there's an empathic connection. There's a way that this feels really stabilizing to you too. And it's like fiery though, because this power card here, this is like fire. And I'm hearing for some of y'all, it's like all you can do is just focus on what you're doing anyway, because you don't have the time. And I'm hearing for some of y'all, that's really difficult too, especially if this is your partner, if this actually is your partner, because for some of y'all, that's kind of how it feels. It's like, no, I've got this partner. That's what it feels like. It's like, I'm not there. I'm too busy. I can't. And I'm hearing it's like knowing when something needs to get cut off because something had to be protected here. And I'm hearing it's like turning your back on the notion of like getting old together, because it's like something happened. It's like somebody feels like they turn the page and they're like, what happened to my face? You know? And it's like, I'm hearing for some of you, it's like, let's shred this thing and let's just get on with it. And that this is an agreement to actually cut something off, because for some of you all, it's like they're either going to have to trust whatever you know or what you said, or you're going to need to just speak up, because in some cases you haven't. And so they're just operating like this, you know? So what I like about this 6 here is this is sort of a communication card anyway. This blue suit in this deck here, it's how intellectual things happen. And so let's see who's going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and just pull a few Sibylas for you. Give us a little bit more information. What's happening here? Can we get some advice? I feel like I need to throw it here on this disruption. Because for some of you, this is just like, it's just calling you for different reasons to have an impasse. And for some of you all, you know, this is just the end. And it's like where you're fed up enough to pop off on each other, but you can settle it nicely, is what I'm hearing. And so for others, well, let's see here. Because that's not everybody. Some of you, this is like picking up and moving on with somebody that is building it back together with you the right way, where you can actually bridge that. So I'm going to get a little bit of advice here on this disruption for those of you that resonated for. So my Libra need to know here. This disruption advice. Okay. We've got Gran Signore. So, isn't he husbandly? That's the guy that gets married. For some of you all, this is just like knowing that somebody's gonna have to own this role here for it to be worth it. That looks like it's worth it. That's amore right there. And oof, Viaggio. So yeah, for some of you all, this is like just saying, look, we need more time to each other. Moving on. This can sometimes be taking a trip together, going on vacation. But I'm hearing for some of you, this is like being willing to open up about something that maybe you only learned in a private way. When it's okay to reveal those things. And I'm seeing somebody just wanting to whisk somebody away here, because this is this positive movement forward. This is like, you know, they're taking off in a boat. And this moving on, this is somewhere between 6 and 7 of like your swords generally, which is 6 of swords in a more traditional deck. You see people actually leaving in a boat together. And I see somebody just kind of being willing to say, yeah, let's send our best energy off in this direction, and it being a healing thing. So for some of you all, look at this. It's making time. So my advice, be powerful and strong about how you stand up for your love, especially if they're going through some kind of shakeup. And if you are the one going through this, I'm hearing it's time for you to get radical about what you're doing and maybe prove why it has been this way. Because for some of y'all, it's been radical. And maybe this is you needing to finally speak up about what you couldn't even speak about it. Because I'm hearing for some of y'all, you were too busy being in your faith and being onslaught. I'm hearing it was just like an onslaught. And you just couldn't. And so I'm hearing right now, it's like learning what it is that you put together, how to say it, because this is you standing up like the husband or the one that claims the husband, however this role fits for you. And so it looks good for me. And I say, you deserve a little reprieve, all right? Take care. If it's yours, you'll know. And let me know. I love your comments. If you'd like to chat, we have a chat group for Very Fine Martians listed below. That's on Discord. If you need your own reading, feel free to hit me up as well. I'd love to do that for you. If I don't hear from you, just know I love you, and catch you again soon. We're back for another one. Bye for now, Libra.